So I think that you may be dealing with someone here who, I mean, clearly is getting a huge wake-up call. But the Three of Pentacles being the overall, we're definitely talking about you and this person working on this relationship. But it is about the effort that both of you are putting into this. And I think that you get there in a really good way. Though I do question that Page of Swords, but I think that, you know, despite the fact that you may not have all your questions answered, I think that there's going to be, you know, this like making peace with it. So you come in with the Seven of Cups. I think that for you, you may be questioning on whether or not this person was the right option for you, because with the Four of Cups, they may not be showing a whole lot of interest in you, or they may not have been. And again, with the Four of Swords, you know, is this somebody that you've had a break from? Or is it somebody that you just like have a hard time communicating with? So rather than fighting, we're keeping the peace, because you're kind of showing that coming up. But I don't necessarily think that you're confused, although some of you may be looking at other options. But I think that for a lot of you, it's going to be whether or not this person is somebody you should even be, you know, emotionally invested in, you know, because they're just not, they're not doing anything. And emotionally, they may be kind of like shut down. Now, when you move into where you guys are connecting, you showing the Five of Wands, I don't think that you're purposely like starting petty arguments or anything like that. I think that it gets out of control because this person may be communicating to you in a way where it's like, there's no need for this. Why are you being defensive? And I think for you, you're the one that's going to be opposing the communication here. But for you, you're seeing it as the Five of Wands, meaning that you think it's stupid. I don't know why you're saying this to me. That's just dumb. You know, and that I think is going to be your perspective on it. They, for some reason, feel like there's something that they need to speak up about, but the way that they do it isn't going to be received well on your end. Like, this is ridiculous. Now, if we're talking about you working on things with somebody with the Empress, I think that, you know, whether you're male or female, you're going to be in a really good place in your life where you have the ability to be caring, giving, nurturing, and maybe to a fault. But the thing is with the Six of Pentacles on their side, I think they're going to have like a really huge wake-up call in terms of what they have been receiving and what they have received from you. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like they're looking at, this is what I got from this person, but everywhere else I never got that much. And I think that that's kind of like what's happening here. And I think that that's where they move into this place where they don't want to fight with you anymore or act stupid, but they want to kind of work on things, you know, especially with the Hierophant being in the middle here, because we're talking about, I need to slow down here. We're talking about commitment, right? Wanting to have that kind of relationship that has, you know, the traditional values. And what I mean by that is that people know that you're together. People know that you are in love with each other. It doesn't matter, you know, what the meat suit looks like. You guys know how I feel about that. But the Page of Swords there, I think that you have questions. You're wanting more information. You need them to talk to you so that you can understand where they're coming from. You know, but the thing is with the Page of Swords, I always warn people when it comes to this one, when you're asking questions and you get that information, there needs to come a point where you realize that that is all the information that you're going to get. And then it becomes a question of, can you make peace with that? That, okay, this is all they're going to tell me. And it's not that they're lying to you here with the Page of Swords. It's just that they're not ever going to give you the type of answers that are going to satisfy you. You know, so the more you ask, the worse the situation may get, especially if this person has a hard time expressing themselves. But I think that Judgment is saying that, you know, they want to kind of like close the door here and start over, right? Making peace with the past. But again, having a huge wake-up call, though, I think, where they're going to have to go back and review how they have treated you in the relationship, especially if they're realizing that you have given them more than anybody else could ever give them. Because I'm telling you, that's what that looks like. Okay, now I don't necessarily feel like this is going to be about a cheating scenario, but I think that what may be happening is that you've got too many people putting their nose in where it doesn't belong. And they may be causing problems between you and this person, and that may be what we're trying to discuss. So now, on the other hand, you may feel like this person just is not giving you the kind of support that you need, right? And they're going to get the huge wake-up call here when, you know, they realize that they're not going to get what they want somewhere else, right? But we're still talking about working on a commitment here, you know? Now, first of all, the Five of Pentacles, if we're looking at you as the Page of Swords here, I think the line of questioning is going to be about, well, why did you reject me before? You know, why is it that you're not a part of their life or what's going on with their life, you know? And again, communication, you know, some things that need to be talked about for sure. But with the King of Swords, you know, I think that if this is how they're looking at you, I think they're looking at you as you not being capable of understanding what they were going through emotionally with them coming in with Four of Cups, okay? Now, that may not be the truth at all. But I also think that we are possibly talking about, and this could be the case, another person being involved, whether they're, you know, male or female here, because there is some kind of, you know, depression and hurt feelings here over possibly a person. Now, on the other hand, though, it may be that they're looking at you like how do I explain this? It's like they're looking at two different versions of you, because I don't necessarily feel like they're being diplomatic here in this situation because of this issue going on here. Because whatever they're saying here and being defensive about, in your eyes, is stupid. And I think for you, you see it very logically, but I think that the Queen of Pentacles may be showing that they're looking at you as being, how do I want to say this? You're good without them. You're independent, you don't really need them, but the truth is that you may have been really hurt by the way things went with this relationship. And again, there may be some outside influence here that may be causing some problems, or it could be someone here who is looking to kind of get the upper hand when it comes to this person. Now, what I would say here is if we're working on a commitment, they may be getting a wake-up call when it comes to an outside person. Whether that was somebody that they were involved with once before, could be an ex, or it could just be people who may have once been friends, you know? I mean, it just depends on the situation here, but I really do think that we're talking about you working on this relationship. But man, you know, it's not fair to assume on their part that you wouldn't understand, you know, but for you have some questions here. I want to know, I have to have these answers so that, you know, you can get past this feeling of rejection and being hurt, right? Or not being a part of their life and not knowing what's going on. It's like they literally cast you out, and we need to talk about this. I need to understand it, you know. But I don't know, that Three of Cups and Queen of Pentacles, right? I mean, there's definitely different ways that you can interpret that. And I try to cover that as much as possible because not everybody's going to be dealing with a third party. But that could be the case. So, and this is just going to be me being honest with you. Yeah, I do think that this is a soulmate connection, but sometimes, you know, the soulmate connection may not be the greatest, but at least you know that this person is going to change your life in a way where you're back on track. That's the whole reason for soulmates, you know, kind of coming in. What I worry about here is if you feel like this person is your soulmate, but you just are having a hard time with the relationship, right? So this may not be an easy thing, but let's talk about this. So first you come in with the Four of Wands. This is having fun. Things are fun. Things are lighthearted. You know, you may have gotten involved with somebody that you found really attractive, somebody who was fun to be around with the Queen of Wands, right? But she has a tendency to show up when somebody is putting themselves out there when they shouldn't be, because they may be committed somewhere else. Now, I don't want to call it, but the thing is that, you know, if this is you, I think that there was some at least hesitation in terms of like getting involved with this person, but I think that you may be getting kind of like swept up in the passion and the fun, right? But then you move into the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is not necessarily a bad thing, but this is about looking beyond appearances. So this could be about somebody that's wanting you to see past something about them, and they want to like continue, you know, the fun and the passion. But you have the Hierophant right underneath that clarifying it. So if we're needing to look past something, it's going to have to do with whether or not somebody is committed or whether or not they want to be. Now, what's interesting is that whatever it is that they're trying to get you to look past immediately is going to piss you off, and it's going to leave you in this place where you are going to be focused on this person, how they hurt you. That is the Queen of Swords. But with the Fool, we're talking about you taking a new path in your love life, and you may be leaving this behind. The problem is that soulmate issue, right? But let's clarify. The hell is going on? Temperance, all right. And that's kind of like what I was feeling looking looking at that Queen of Wands, the Devil, all right. And then the Magician. I think that you make the choice here to kind of like move on and make something else happen for yourself. But unfortunately, this is going to be one of those connections where you may be tempted to try to want to start again with this person. But I would say that they have, you know, a lot of growing and learning to do, you know. And in this situation, you may be their soulmate, right? Like they need you to get their life back on track, especially if they're the devil in this situation. But like I was saying before, Temperance is going to be about slowly building the passion, right? So with the Queen of Wands, that could definitely be representing you. Again, whether you're male or female, have fire in your chart, whatever. But this looks like she's a little bit more reserved, but I think that you're getting caught up in the fun, and I think that you kind of wanted to take things slow, but they're wanting to push you past that. But the devil isn't a good thing. It's somebody who's being driven by their physical urges. But, you know, what are they wanting you to look past? The fact that they just want to, you know, hook up and not commit, which could be the case, right? But the thing is this almost feels like somebody who is stringing you along. And that may be why you're getting really pissed off here with the Queen of Swords. This person strung me along and bullshitted me, and apparently we are not in a relationship. And I don't think that you're going to be happy about that, because it's going to feel like it was a waste of time. But I do like this coming out, because the thing is that, right, sometimes we have to get drugged through the mud or the dirt before, you know, we start to see why we went through that, you know. So when we look back on experiences and we're in a really happy place, we go, man, right, I went through a lot of bullshit with a lot of different people, but look at me now. I'm happy, I'm with this person, whatever, right? And I think that that's where you're headed. But I do think that it's going to be up to you here. You could either take a new path, or you could stay focused on this person and feel like they were the soulmate. That, or you're being led to the soulmate connection now after this. So I do think that you may be moving into a place where you're going to be enjoying some time with your partner here. I think that that's really what honeymoon is saying. You know, you're going to be able to just spend some time one-on-one after a difficult situation. And, again, it's only going to be for some of you. I always say, if you're happy in your relationship, you don't need a message, right? So with the Three of Wands, this is, the both of you realizing that you feel the same way about each other after there being this kind of like distance between you, because the Ten of Cups, right, what should have been a really happy situation wasn't, right? So someone thinks that everything's okay, the other person does not feel the same, right? But with the Three of Wands, I think that, you're starting to realize that, yeah, you want to have this relationship. You guys want to be happy. And you are looking at a new beginning here with the Ace of Wands, which is great. The problem is that the unhappiness may have been caused by somebody who was causing some problems, right? With the Page of Swords, with this deck, we're talking about somebody who's like literally up your ass and like trying to wedge themselves between you and your partner. Okay, and that could be, somebody on your side or their side. Either way, it caused tension in the relationship. But we're looking at a new beginning, and I don't think that we're talking about a new beginning with this person. Although, what I worry about here is with the High Priestess is we're talking about secrets, and then, somebody who's trying to correct something. So something comes out here, because then the other person feels like, I got to fix this problem. Now, it could be that, this is going to have to do with your partner, and you may be finding out about this while you're trying to get the relationship back on track. Now, on the other hand, yeah, we could spin it in a way where there is cheating going on, but, I don't want to call it that yet. Okay. And then the Two of Pentacles. All right, so yeah, maybe that isn't the case. So the reason why there may have been unhappiness in the past was because clearly here somebody was feeling like they weren't getting what they needed with the Six of Pentacles, right? But the thing is you still feel the same way about each other with the Three of Wands. Now, if we're having discussions about what you are lacking with the Ace of Wands, I think that, what you're trying to do is leave the past behind and start over, but there may be a need to end a situation with somebody that shouldn't be involved in your partnership. Now, like I said, this could be because of a person that you let in during an unhappy period, or somebody that your partner let in because of unhappy situations, right? But clearly a situation is going to have to end here. Now, I kind of think that this may have to do with the person that you're dealing with rather than you. Because this is like, I'm scared, but I know I need to tell her the truth, or tell them the truth, I should say. Because the Two of Pentacles is going to be about somebody who is afraid to approach another person. Embarrassment sometimes shows up with that. But because of the High Priestess, it's like this person is being very reluctant about letting hidden information out, because they don't want the relationship to go back to a place where it's unhappy, because clearly they want to fix it. Somebody wants to fix something here before it's too late with the Nine of Wands. But they may be having a hard time approaching you and letting you know. Now, what I worry about, though, on the other hand, is that with the Page of Swords being there, are you having to deal with somebody who is like telling you misinformation, right? Or are they giving you, information that isn't accurate? Like, they're afraid to approach you, but does it cause this like huge problem? So I would be careful about any kind of, for those of you who are dealing with a situation like this, where, there was an unhappy period and somebody let somebody in when they shouldn't have. And it's going to cause more problems in the future if it's not dealt with. But I would be careful about any kind of information that's coming to you from an outside source. Get it from the horse's mouth. If you want to know what's going on, just ask your partner straight up. Because clearly they don't want to go back to a place where things were unhappy. But if they felt like they weren't getting what they wanted, they may have done something that they shouldn't have. And I don't think it's all out cheating, but they may have given somebody the open door when they really should not have. And this may become a problem, okay? But the thing is that once you fix issues, I think that what you need is some time together alone. No other people being around. You need to start working on how you guys really feel about each other, because clearly you feel the same way. There may have been like a hiccup, but don't let somebody else continue to cause problems, right?